and thank you for joining the Time Is Always Now podcast. My name is Terence. I am your host for today's podcast. I appreciate you joining me today. This is a podcast that's dedicated to helping people get past their excuses, helping people get past saying, you know what, I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to do it the next day. I'm going to do it when the time is right. This is a podcast about helping people and encouraging people and showing people that there is no right time. The circumstances are never going to be perfect. So the time to do anything to improve your life is right now. This podcast is about helping people harness the power in the eternal moment of now. So I appreciate you joining me. If you would like to donate to the cause, by all means you can. Just go to my website. It's terenceyoungnow.com, and you can donate there, and I appreciate that. So thank you in advance for allowing me to continue and helping me to continue to give these messages and share these messages with the entire world. I believe that everyone needs to hear messages like this, just to encourage and inspire and cultivate and move people forward. So thank you in advance for that. I'm excited. Things are moving along well. Even though we're during this pandemic time, I'm still getting opportunities to speak, which is really exciting, and getting back out there live. Some of them are tape recorded, but hey, any way we can do it, as long as I'm working within my passion, which is what I share with you all the time. Continue to work in your passion in any way you possibly can. So I'm excited about opportunities as the calendar continues to fill up. I'm still creating the the class on becoming an engaging speaker. So excited about that. Hopefully more of the videos will be done this week, and I'll have that class up within another week or so. So if you know anyone who's interested in becoming a better public speaker, by all means, direct them to my course. You can get the link in my bio, and of course my course about finding your passion is already live and up. So if you know of anyone who is looking to find their passion or feels that there's something else they should be doing, but they don't know quite what it is, my course, 3 tips on finding your passion they're living it right now, could be the thing that helps them out with finding it. So definitely, same thing. You can find the link on my bio and go there. So excited about that. It's been a good week. It's been a productive week. And today's topic, I was touching on it on the Time Is Always Now discussions on Tuesday. I'm going to bring it up here. It's a hot topic, so I'm going to put in the show notes some questions as well. But the question is this: how do you feel about the whole mask debate? Where are you on the mask debate? Should we be wearing them? Should we not be wearing them? I want to share a couple of things with you that I researched here, and then I'd love to hear. I'm going to give you what I feel about it for sure, and I'd love to hear what you all think about it as well. So definitely get in contact with me. So the CDC, early on, January, February, and the WHO, World Health Organization, said we should not be wearing masks. It's the truth. They did say it. Right? So what happens is we've heard the authorities of science say we shouldn't be wearing a mask. I know, I heard it too. But then as this pandemic has progressed, as the virus has progressed, they said, you know what? We should be wearing a mask. Now, so they have changed their stance on whether we should or not. And here's what I believe has happened. We've had the authorities, the CDC, the World Health Organization, go from saying don't wear a mask to wearing a mask. Our doctor here in the United States, Dr. Fauci, right? He's the main one, Dr. Burke as well, went from saying don't wear a mask, it's not necessary for us to wear a mask. And what we're seeing is when we look at, especially in the United States, we see someone say one thing and then change up and say another. We feel, our country as a whole, I believe, and a large population of it is saying, no, they're not allowed to change their mind. They said wear a mask or don't wear a mask 2 months ago, so that means we don't wear a mask ever. They can't change their mind. And here's where I have a problem with that. This is science. It's not complicated. I don't believe it's complicated. Here's the thing. They did definitely say don't wear a mask. But science works this way. Let's get this clear. No one, and I mean no one walking the earth today, has dealt with a pandemic. I don't care if you're a scientist or not. So our doctors in Australia and Russia and wherever else, no one's dealt with a pandemic before. So they're figuring it out. So maybe at that time they thought we shouldn't wear a mask because of whatever reasons in the United States. There's some other reasons why the United States, it doesn't work well, but maybe they thought at that time, but they are allowed to change their minds. They are allowed to say, you know what? Now that we're looking at the progression of this, it's probably better to wear one than to not. They're allowed to do that. As a matter of fact, that is science. This is the part that a lot of people I don't think are understanding. Science has to figure things out. Sometimes they they get a wrong answer and then they figure it out. They do something else and they figure it out. The doctors haven't been through a pandemic either, just like we haven't. So no, they don't have all the answers. I think that especially in the United States, I don't know about other countries as much because of course I'm centric to this country. But it seems as though anytime the doctors say anything, people feel like they can't change their minds. They can't say, you know what, we weren't right about that. Now it needs to be this. So we really need to look at that. And in the United States specifically, we need to work on that. That's the way science works. You have an answer, you say, you know what, we should do this. More data comes in, and you say, you know what, we should do this. That's normal. But there's a large majority of people, or a large amount of people, especially in the United States, that thinks that's not normal. But actually, that is normal. They have a certain amount of data, and they say, you know what, we shouldn't wear masks. They got some more data, and they said, you know what, forget about that not wearing mask things, we should. That's science. That's the first thing. We need to understand that science doesn't have all the answers. Science figures out the answers, and we are literally in the process of watching them figure out the answers. That's important. Second point, in our country, and I have to talk about the United States, I can't say this for other countries, and this is important. Other countries with masks, I think, you guys can help me out. If you're in another country, wherever, but some of the other countries, mask wearing isn't as foreign as it is here. So I think there's a specific thing about the United States where we've never worn masks before for anything unless you're in the hospital or something like that. Whereas in some of these other countries, it's a little more typical to wear a mask for whatever reason, whether they're small, the conditions, whatever, they just do it. So in the United States, people are saying it's against their rights to have to wear a mask into a public place, into a restaurant or shopping or whatever. And we have people out protesting against wearing masks. I think that's part of the problem why we have more problem with the disease in other countries, because we're so busy fighting everything that we can't come together and figure it out. However, do I believe it's against your right? No, I don't think it's against your right to be required to wear a mask when you go into Walmart or the grocery store or wherever you're going. Now, does that mean I'm going to walk up to someone and tell them you should have your mask on? I disagree with that, because there are people like that. They're like mask cops, not literal cops, but people who will come up to a stranger and say, why aren't you wearing a mask? No, I don't believe in that, and we shouldn't be doing that. The important thing to note about it is you don't have to wear a mask when you walk around in public. However, you have, let's say that right, you have the right not to wear a mask. I'm okay with that. However, you must understand the stores have a right to not serve you. They have a right to say you are not allowed in here because you are not wearing a mask. Both of you have rights. So you don't want to wear a mask, don't wear one, but don't argue with the store when they say you can't come in. That's all I'm saying. I don't think it's as complicated. You don't want to wear a mask? Fine, don't wear one. Well, send somebody to the store to get your groceries that's going to wear a mask. You stay home or go outside and sit in the park or whatever you want to be without your mask on, that's fine. But both of you have rights. Don't think that just you have rights and the other people don't have rights as well. It's important to understand this. I don't know how dangerous this virus is at this point. It's so hard to understand with the numbers and all that are coming out. But wearing a mask does at least prevent you from spreading it to someone else. And that's important to understand. I think a lot of people are saying, well, I don't have to wear a mask. I'm fine. I'm healthy. That's not what the mask is for, which has been said a gazillion times. The mask is to protect you from spreading the virus to someone else, who then could spread it to someone else, who then could spread it to someone else, who then could spread it to someone who actually is vulnerable to getting very sick and possibly dying from this virus. You see how that chain works? It's not about you when you're walking around saying, I don't want to wear a mask. It's not even about you. That's the mindset that I want people to get and understand. Most people are walking around thinking it's about me. I don't want to wear a mask. I don't want to do this. It's not even about you. Especially if you're healthy, you're good, you're right in the sense that you probably aren't going to get sick. They've determined this. They've kind of figured this thing out. If you're healthy, if you're in good shape, you're probably not going to get sick. But you may have someone in your family that could. You may have someone that you know that could. You may have a friend that you contact somehow, that they contact someone, and then they contact their grandmother, their grandfather, and then they could get sick if you pass it on to them. That's why the government is asking you to wear a mask. Not to take away your right. Right? I just want people to be able to get to be able to at least look at that from that lens. It's not about you when we talk about wearing a mask. It's about everyone else. If we can just get to the place where we can look through that lens, through the lens of saying, it's not about me. I'm not thinking about me. I'm thinking about my fellow man. I'm thinking about humanity. How can I help humanity? By at least wearing this mask so I don't unintentionally spread this to someone who's very vulnerable. Right? Because the virus is real. I think we've established that. There's still some people, a few people out there still saying it's not real at all. I believe it is real. I think we know it's real. I think we know people are dying. So the question is, do you want to be on the side of caring about humanity, all of humanity, or are you just thinking about yourself? I believe we're all in this together. We are all in this together. And if we all work together, then we can work through this. We can come out of this better as the human race. And that is the most important thing. So I'm all for wearing your mask, and if you don't want to wear your mask, I'm not about to argue with you. But just understand, that means that don't argue with someone else when they say you can't come into their store or their establishment because they set their rules and said they want to protect everyone in their store, so they want everyone wearing a mask. Just understand, it's not always about you. It's about everyone. So we all work together, we all overcome this together. If not, we're going to continue to be divided. There was a great quote by Martin Luther King. He said, I'm going to quote it partially here. We must live together as brothers, learn to live together as brothers and sisters, or we will perish together as fools. Which one is it going to be? I say we can work together. I say we can live together as brothers and sisters of the human race. And if that causes me to be a little inconvenienced by wearing a mask, then so be it. And by all means, let me be very clear. I don't like wearing a mask. It's very inconvenient for me. I don't like it either. Just talking to my family, my mom, all that. We were all saying we didn't like it, but we wore them. We wear them, right? So if it's for the betterment of all of us together, then I'm going to wear my mask. And I'm asking that you do too, because it's not about you, it's about all of us. Let's work together. If we do that, if we all do that, then we can unequivocally say, I own the now, and I have won. This is TY. I am signing off for this time. Hey, remember, share this with everybody. Share this podcast. I want this message out there. It's free. Just share it. Just send that link to people. Let them hear this message. Whether you agree or disagree, I don't care. Share it anyway. But get it out there, all right? Get it out there so people can hear it. People need to hear this message. I want people uplifted. I want people encouraged. And I want people moving forward in their lives. We can do this all together. TY, I'm signing off. Remember, the time is always now.